Hi everyone, Paul Lange with Disciplined Trading Strategies and this week's Trade of the Week video. This week ending 6/11 in 2023, the stock was DG. This happened on the 7th, which was a Wednesday. This is based on it actually was a gap carry that then hit a 60-minute major resistance area. Entry on a 2-minute DTS sell setup retest and failure pattern. Management advance reward to risk 2.6 to 1. The trade lasted for a better part of the morning. Before we review this trade, let's take a look, as we always do, what's for free DTS members this week. Nothing going on this week, but remember, you can always visit the DTS Free Stuff page. You can spend an entire week there. It is the greatest source of free information for traders anywhere, free, useful information. However, the following week, Wednesday and Thursday, June 21st and 22nd, will be the DTS Open House for the DTS Trading Room. We have not had one for almost exactly 1 year. It was a year ago right now, so these are not very often. Mark your calendars. Plan on joining us 8:30 to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. You will get invites and more information about that as we get closer to the date. That's not next week, but it's a week from Wednesday, week from Thursday, the 21st and 22nd of June. Here's the daily chart of DG, and you can see this is a gap carry. Gap carries are often some of my favorite strategies. Once you have a gap, they're often very significant. Sometimes the day of the gap, it's hard to figure out what's going on. Sometimes it's not. But oftentimes when you have a pattern that emerges after the gap, it's very tradable for a few days, and that's what happened here with DG. So we had this big gap down a few days ago, and then we're going to look at trading it right here this day. That's before the market opened. No big deal. It's like I always preach, just make money from normal moves. All we're going to happen here is we're going to go up and test a prior day's area and then fall for that morning. Creates a nice profit. I'll show you exactly how it was done. 15-minute chart I'm showing because it's just a little better detailed than the 60 in this case. Not a lot to learn here. All that's going to happen is we're going to gap down a little bit. We're going to run up and test the top of this base area up here. Normally that may not be a great setup, but when you have a gap carry, something is being sold day after day after day until it stops being sold. You continue to pound these short or pound them long if it's a bullish gap. Let's take a better look now on the 5-minute chart, exactly what happened. We gapped down a little bit right to there, and then we ran up, tested that area. I actually was not 100% convinced because of the prior day we hadn't made a new low. So I wanted to get an entry with confirmation rather than a very aggressive one. So rather than jumping up here higher like you often see me do, I waited for some confirmation down in here. Entry under 157.05, stop over 157.85. Got kind of lucky. We dropped really hard right away. I had actually set a target there at 155.56 and it just hit it. If I hadn't set it there, I probably would have missed it because it went really fast down, came back. So target 1 was done for half. And then what happened was we ran back up here and I took a second trade on this. Entry under 156.17, stop under 156.82. When DG dropped again, it might be a little confusing here, but that next target here took the second half of the first trade and the first half of the second trade at 155.02. That left the back half of the second trade, which ended up trailing out up there near break even. So it only trailed out by a nickel, and then it fell a little more the rest of the day. Not a big deal because it didn't fall much, but overall, very nice trade on DG, and the whole thing was done before noon. Let's get a little more detailed look by looking at the 1-minute chart. You can see on the 1-minute chart that we're going to open right here. And here you get a better concept of the entry, why it's called a retest and failure pattern. Entry under 157.05, stop over 157.85. Quick drop, target 1. Second trade right in there. Stop over the top of that base basically. Target 2 of the first trade, target 1 of the second trade, and then a trail out on the back half of the second trade. DG was just one of a few favorite trades I was looking at that morning. Every day in prep for the room, I look at about 1,000 stocks, boil it down to about 30 that I bring to the room that morning. We go through them together, pick out the favorites. I usually have a handful I'm looking at the open and maybe another handful or two on back burner charts in case I can't find anything on that initial favorite list. So if you like trading like that, come join us in the DTS Trading Room. You can go over to the DTS homepage and look at that subscription services tab. You can figure out from there how to join us. Remember, there's also open house a week after next week. If you have any curiosity about trading a couple hours in the morning, a couple days a week, come check us out. Until next time, this is Paul for DTS. Good trading, everybody.